Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back. We're finally moving on to the position players in our tier list updates. I was a little busy over the weekend, but we're back on track. And I've got a Weekend Classic video dropping tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Cue the intro.
When I was 16, I won a great victory. I felt in that moment I would live to be 100. Now I know I shall outlive 30. None of us know our end, really, or what hand will guide us there.
Starting off the list with right fielders, I'm ranking everybody here as a right fielder. As you can see, there's some guys that they don't even have right field as a secondary. They will just be playing out of position. So let's just get into it. At F tier, I don't think anybody should be using these guys. I just put them here because they're ass and I needed some bodies on the F tier. D tier is more like DH tier or infielders. Like Ryan O'Hearn and Alec Burleson. They're first basemen. Jack Caglione as well. They're not bad. I don't think they're D tier as a DH or a first baseman. But you're not playing any of these guys in the outfield. Maybe Casti, but he's going to make a lot of mistakes. He's very slow. He doesn't get any good jumps like ever. He's not 6'7" like Aaron Judge. But their bats are amazing. Some people hate Judge, but I think you can make him work in even on Hall of Fame. Because the only righty pitcher that's going to give you trouble is Dustin May, Nate Pearson, and Clemens, right? So maybe I'm wrong there, but these guys as a DH, they're fine, they're solid. Judge, Casti, and Rooker are probably your best options because you're going to see a lot of lefty starters. It's pretty a lefty meta right now. We're going on to C tier. Santander, he's still him. Like there's no other card in the fucking game that has fluked me with early home runs, just late home runs, or flat out late home runs. I fear this man. I don't care if I'm playing on Hall of Fame. And his contact and clutch is horrible at this point of the game. With when you have relievers with 125 hits and clutch, this guy will still find a way to hit a home run. That's just what he does at right field. He's pretty bad, so he's just mid because of the bat. Like honestly, Mike Cameron, he is low key like fine. He has good contact against lefties. If he had more clutch, he would be like usable, but low contact, low power. He has like 80 power, 80 contact versus righty, so he's not ideal. He's a very good defender, but I think there's just so much more options. Kelenic, a lefty version of Mike Cameron. He's going to be in secondary position, and he's slower, and I don't think he's as good a defender as Mike Cameron. Joe Adele, pretty mid, but you're not using that guy in center field. I believe that's his primary, and another primary center fielder, Adolis. He's still good because he is a righty. He's going to match lefties, but he's not bad on the field. But he's just like mid. If you just started playing the game, he's very easy to get. B tier, Corbin Carroll. This card is pretty dated by now. I know he has 99 speed, but you're going to see a lot of lefties, and his stats versus lefties suck. I'm pretty sure if you're somehow still using this card, you have him parallel 5. So I think he goes over 100 clutch, but just barely. Doesn't have the best contact, that doesn't just like destroy righties, so he's not incredible. Roman Anthony, he swings just so good. He's kind of slow, but being a right field primary position, that really helps him out. Has a good swing, and he's going to serve his purpose of hitting righties well, so he's here. Cam Smith, I'm pretty sure he's a left fielder. He's not. I know he's not a third baseman anymore. He can play third and short and left, but I'm 100% confident he's a right fielder, and he's going to be just fine. He plays solid defense. He's very fast, and he's going to hit well against lefties. He's going to do his job. Springer and Acuna. Springer, I really wanted to put him in A tier at right field because I believe that's his best position, but he doesn't have the best stats anymore, and he's not fast. I know that doesn't really matter in the corners. Acuna, the fact that this card is like over 100k. I think you're crazy if you're using this guy. If you really love Acuna swing, which I do. I'm a big fan of his. I was matching with him at the start of the year. just use the live series. Like there's really not much of a difference with this card. Chili Davis, switch hitter, good stats. He's going to be horrible in the outfield, but he's a switch hitter with good stats. A tier, Byron Buxton out of position. I believe this is his best spot as a right fielder, but he's still not cracking that S tier. Evan Carter, best position, obviously center fielder. If you don't have Beltrán, if you cannot afford Mickey Mantle or you don't like him, and he's going to be amazing, has a great swing. You're going to struggle against some lefties, but his swing really makes up for it, so you don't really have to worry about it. He's super fast. He's going to play great defense everywhere. So he's elite in my opinion. Joe Adell at right field, I think you can get away with it. I know he has pretty bad defense. You're definitely not using this guy in center field, but he can get it done. He's going to absolutely crush lefties. His swing is not the best, but those stats, you're going to be hitting a lot of late home runs with this card. He's insane. I've been using him as a platoon bat, and he's been matching for me, getting like 500 with him with 5 home runs in like 15 at bats. He's disgusting. Sammy Sosa, he's only here because of the stats. Like, let's be honest, he's not amazing in the field, and his swing is horrible. I was struggling to hit home runs on veteran against bronze pitchers in the moments, and I know I'm not the only one. He's only here because of the stats. Honestly, this card is probably like F tier, but he has the stats, and some people will hit good with him. They're going to match with him, so he's here. Hank Aaron, super disappointing stats. Like, his stats are terrible. He's not fast. He's not a great defender. He's just mid everywhere. But he's Hank Aaron, and you're going to hit some bombs with him. Not great power, not great contact. Probably should be like more like B tier now that I'm really thinking about it. James Wood at right field, wouldn't be too confident. If you're using this guy, you're probably just running him in his primary position. At left, I think he is S tier, but at right field, I wouldn't be confident with him. He's going to be mashing. Against lefties, I wouldn't really worry about him. His swing is butter. I know he's 6'7", so some people will struggle with him, but he got a really good swing, max out clutch. And we move on to S tier. I believe the best right fielder in the game is probably Lance Berkman. I know he can play first, and also have him as an S tier first baseman, but we're not talking about that right now. Mickey Mantle out of position in right. This is probably his best spot. If you have this card, I mean, you definitely you have Beltrán. There's no point in buying a card like this if you don't have Beltrán, in my opinion. Ted Williams, you can play him left or right. He's going to be amazing. He's actually an insane defender. I don't think he's like making single error, or he always gets there. He's incredible, to be honest. I don't even have him super factor, so Juan Soto, I don't know if I would use this card in the outfield. I personally have him in my DH spot. I platoon him with Joe Adell. But if you really don't have any other option, you're no money spent, you don't really grind the game a lot, you don't have all the cards in the game, I guess you could put him in the outfield, but I really wouldn't recommend it. But that bad makes up for it, so he has to be in the S tier. Wencel Perez, I feel like the only positions where he is S tier are the outfield corners and maybe second base, probably second base. I wouldn't use this guy at third or short. In those positions, he's probably more like A tier or even B tier at shortstop. He has his stats, no quirk, switch hitting. He's going to mash lefties. He's disgusting against lefties, but against righties, like, he's bad. He's bad. Doesn't even have 100 clutch. I almost have him super factor by now, and I think he's at 99 clutch or 98. So not really sure if even if you super factor this card, he's going into S tier. Again, with all the All-Star content coming soon, do you really want to buy this card? Like, he's going to be quick sale in 3 days, so probably wouldn't recommend him. Bryce Harper, he's going to play better defense than Juan Soto, so if you have him, you can start Harper in right. That's what I would do if you have both. He's not amazing, but he's not Juan Soto level defense. And McCutcheon, I think this card super slept on. He's amazing, nasty clutch. He's fast. He's going to play okay defense out there, and his stats are honestly very good. Like, I'm surprised like nobody's really hyping this card up. I know Outfield is pretty stacked at this point, and with All-Star coming, he's probably just going to get dated in a week, which kind of sucks, but that's just how it goes. Let's move on to left field. I'm gonna try to fly through these because I already been talking for about 10 minutes. F tier, I'm not even gonna say anything. You already know those guys suck. Again, D tier is more like DH or infielders. Adam Dunn going to match righties, doesn't have the best contact, but I think his clutch makes up for it. Ludwig is going to match lefties. Great pop. His swing is not bad, but It's not the best. Yoshida, good contact, not the best power, amazing swing, but you're definitely not using him in left. Jock Peterson, probably one of the best platoon DHs in the game, but now that there's Soto, I don't think he has like a spot in this game anymore. He is pretty dated by now, but he's going to match righties with. If you're using him and you're hitting like 500 against righties with like 1,000 slugging, just keep using him. Like, just keep using him. C tier, Tommy Pham, mid. His swing is fine. Stats are fine. He's going to play defense just fine. Jim Rice, I have him here because he's so expensive, but he honestly has a stats like an A tier card, probably at least B tier. I'm being a little bit harsh because of the price, and like who's like a big fan of Jim Rice. Like I would rather use someone that I like IRL. Ted Williams, almost a DH card, but if you don't have Ted Williams and he's your favorite player, then you're going to have to settle with the Walmart version. Kellenic, again, he's still solid at left, secondary left position. Not the best, a lefty bat with in a heavy lefty meta, not ideal. B tier, Alex Gordon, probably the best defensive left fielder in the game, but again, facing a lot of lefties, he's not ideal. You could probably just platoon him with somebody else. Would I do that? Not really. Chili Davis, primary positions, he's going to be a little bit better defensively here, but not amazing. Good stats, probably like Alex Gordon stats, but he's a switch hitter, so that's that. Finally, A tier and S tier. Starting off with A tier. Ian Happ, I think this guy is a beast, but you're going to get scammed a lot. I feel like 5 perfect like line outs on like the 4 games that I used him. He doesn't have the power, but he's amazing. He plays one of the best gloves, but and I know he's not too fast, but me personally, I would probably use him over the Martian, who's still in A tier. He's still relevant. He's a switch hitter with good stats. Defense is pretty bad, to be honest. I was surprised how bad he is, but the swing and being a switch hitter really goes a long way in this game. Jaren Duran, if you're using this card, you're probably going to run him at center field. If you have Beltrán and you have every card in the game, you probably also have Ted Williams. So Jaren Duran doesn't really have a spot in your lineup, and he doesn't have the best hitting stats. At left field, I don't think defense is important. I would rather have a better bat than Jaren Duran. At center field, he's probably S tier. Jordan, he's not too expensive anymore. He can actually play the outfield. He has a nasty swing. His stats are a lie. He has like 110 power against both sides. So he's still going to mash. Joe Adele at left, again, I probably wouldn't run him, but against lefties, he is probably one of the best cards in the game right now. And Buxton, again, out of position. He's not the best defender by any means, and he's not super fast like we are used to seeing Buxton's cards being. Like, he always has like 95 speed, 95 plus speed, 92 speed at least. But he has a good swing, works, go crazy. Doesn't have the best stats anymore, but he's a righty. And again, I've said this like a million times in 15 minutes, but you're going to see a lot of lefty pitchers. And finally, S tier, Ted Williams, obviously one of the best cards in the game. James Wood, I think he's S tier in his primary position. He's still going to make a lot of mistakes, but the bat just makes up for it, and he's free. Wenzel, this guy really plays an amazing outfield. I know it only says he has 70 speed, but it feels like he has 90. The only downside is he's like 5'10", and his player model is tiny. I swear to God, he has the same player model as Altuve. I really do. He is tiny. McCutcheon, I already mentioned him. I think he's S tier in all 3 outfield spots. Great swing, good stats, and he's already bad. Juan Soto, I probably, if I'm managing a team, the only position I would play him is right. But since he's already pretty bad, I mean, is there really like a difference in playing him at left? Not really. So he's still S tier because of the bat. Let's go on to center field. Starting off with the out of position / DH. Joe Adele, already talked about him. He's good at left or right. I think he's ass in center field. Bernie Williams, straight up DH. He's going to mash lefties. I think he's still relevant. If you have been using him and you were doing good with him, probably I would say just keep using him. Mullen sucks as a DH, even he's pretty bad. F tier, not gonna mention a single word about those guys. And D tier, finally we have here someone that I really wanted to talk about. I feel like Chris Taylor is one of the most underrated players in the game. If you do not have a God Squad, he is so valuable. I feel like he has to be in every bench that of someone that doesn't have it. Just like the best team in the game that's never going to pinch hit or pinch run or like look for defensive replacements late in game. But with Chris Taylor, I used him for a couple of games. He only had 3 at bats, but he hit a home run against a lefty, and he has like 60 power. And I'm pretty sure he hit a double in his other at bat. So he's fine at the plate. But the value with him is, let's say you're still using someone like, I don't know, Joe Adele, and you really struggle against righties. You know, you're facing someone like Dustin May or Clemens, and you've been getting jammed with sinkers and, you know, outliers inside, and you just really struggle hitting righty. You can pinch it with your best lefty bench bat. Like, it doesn't matter, because you can just replace him with Chris Taylor, because he can play pretty much everywhere, and he's going to be amazing defensively. And if you're facing a lefty or a righty, you can, you know, replace him or just keep him, because he's not like absolutely useless at the plate. So in my opinion, he's very valuable if you don't have the best team in the game. If you have all the cards in the game, then he's probably F tier. But if you don't, I think he's very valuable, because he can play in a lot of positions, and he's going to be amazing. PCA and Victor Scott, defensive center fielders with horrible stats. I don't think they really have a place in this meta. Brian Reynolds, D tier. Honestly, he's just here because he's a switch hitting center fielder. Forgot to put him in the left field. He's probably like B tier or C tier in left, but it is what it is. C tier, just mid cards. Willie Mays, he's low. He doesn't play the best defense and doesn't have like wow stat. Griffey, he matches lefties, so if you're a goon lefty, he's still relevant. Sizemore, he's just here because of the Guardians boost. Other than that, you're probably running him just on your bench and probably even on a corner outfield a lot of position. Mike Cameron, already talked about him. He's a good defensive center fielder, but that are not good. Springer, B tier. Again, he's not fast, but he has good defense, good bat, righty bat. Luis Robert, one of the best defensive center fielders in the game. Kind of underrated, but his swing sucks. I know he's a righty, but he's quick still, so maybe you enjoy him. Adolis, barely clinging on to B tier just because he's a righty and he has power like more than what his card does. Corbin Carroll at center, 99 speed, probably again being a little bit generous here. And Dominguez, he's going to be awful, but if you like switch hitters and you don't really have another option, he's probably just B tier because he has the swing and he's not terrible. Byron Buxton at A tier, I don't think he's S tier. I don't think he plays cute enough defense for me at center field. I really value defense at center field. Evan Carter and Jarren Duran, they're probably like S tier, but they're lefties. I know they're pretty much free. Well, Carter is free. Duran is insanely cheap now. They have good swings, and they're great for a budget squad. If you're on a budget and you don't have the best cards in the game, they're probably S tier for you. And finally, Beltrán, obviously, best card in the game. Mantle, I think this Mantle is pretty bad, and he's definitely not worth his price tag of, I don't know what he's now, like 200. At least, he's at least over 200k. But he's definitely not worth it. I would say this card is probably more like a 140,000 card. If you don't have Beltrán, if you have him, I don't know why you would even bother with this guy. And McCutcheon is still S tier, probably the third, definitely the best third. The third best center fielder in the game. I can't even talk right now. By far, just because he's righty. And he has the swing, he has the stat, he has the speed, he has the glove. Very underrated card. Already mentioned him 3 times in this video. So that is going to be the end of the video. That was the Outfielders tier list. Let me know in the comments if you liked the video, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, and please let me know why I'm stupid because I ranked your favorite player in the D tier. I would love to know. Until then, I'll catch you later.